Welcome back to our study. Changing our attitude or making necessary adjustments to our attitudes, well, that's the focus of this study of the Beatitudes given to us by Jesus in Matthew chapter 5. This study titled Attitude Adjustment. This study focuses our attention on the fact that we need to be teachable. Be teachable. Our scriptural text comes from Matthew chapter 5, which says this: "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." Now, blessed are the meek. You might be saying, what exactly does this word meek actually mean? What is meekness? Well, the Oxford Dictionary says that meekness is another word for being submissive. Submissive. And at this point, I'm sure that some of you watching this video, especially you tough guys, are probably thinking, "John, that's not me. I am not submissive." Well, I hear you. And actually, that's part of the problem. We really sometimes don't act submissive. We're not meek. And that's actually proof that maybe this is an attitude that you just might need to concentrate your efforts on adjusting. You might actually say, "John, you're just telling me that I have to be a doormat, that I have to let people run all over me." No, I'm not saying that at all. In fact, you may have heard it said before that meekness is not weakness. And if you have heard that, well, then you have heard a true statement. Because Jesus isn't saying that you must become weak and easily be pushed around. He's not saying that at all. But he is saying that you should be submissive, or you should be teachable. Do you remember our study on humility? In that study, we saw that Jesus was telling us that all of these blessed attitudes that he wants us to have, that they all begin with being humble. It begins with recognizing that I don't have all of the answers and that God alone is in control. Once we understand that we are not at the center of the universe, that we are not the ones holding everything together, but he is, it's then when we become meek. It's then we should become submissive to him. Once we recognize that he knows everything, not us, then we can become teachable. You see, all of these blessed attitudes, they hinge on that very first statement. I can honestly say that this meekness, it's one of my biggest struggles. As a pastor, as a dad, as a man, I somehow think that I always have to have all of the answers to every question. I try to have a solution to every problem, even before those problems arise. But what I, and maybe you, need to recognize is that the greatest teacher that ever walked the face of the earth, Jesus, he went and he found it necessary to sit down on the side of a mountain and deliver a message over 2,000 years ago that is just as relevant today. And he said, you don't know everything. You don't. You can't do everything on your own. He said, you need to become submissive to God the Father. You need to allow the Holy Spirit to guide you. You need to trust those people that have been put in authority over you. You need to trust them to lead you in making the right decisions. You need to become teachable. Not weak, but teachable. Consider the first time you attempted to walk. You might not remember this, but you needed a parent there to guide you and to catch you when you would fall. Consider the first time that you tried learning how to drive a car. You needed someone with driving experience sitting next to you to help you and to show you how to manage the great new responsibility that you were taking on, that you were embarking on. Consider this. Consider the first time you started a new job in a new career field and you had absolutely no idea what you were doing. You needed to be trained, and you knew that you had to trust your instructor. You had to do this because they had that experience that you did not have. Jesus wants to be the one to catch us when we fall. He wants to be the one that we listen to when we find ourselves in new situations. He wants to be the one that we look to for our instructions on how to make it through difficult days on the job and those difficult days in life. But He needs us to take on an attitude of submission. He wants us to be teachable. And being honest, recognizing that we do not know everything, we need to listen. Be attentive. Be humble. Be teachable. Until next time, stay humble. Be teachable. And be blessed.